Welcome to Foodcast. Today we have here Chef Tiago Panosso.
Panosso,
yes. Over 5 years experience. One of the most hard work chefs I met in my career.
Appreciate that.
And what's your weapon of choice today?
Okay, so I have here, it's a French wine. I don't like white wine, I like more dark. Not very sweet. And I don't know, I think it's gonna be nice. Let's give it a try, and I'm sure we're gonna let you know by the end of the interview.
Definitely we're gonna like that. So we got a Chateau Jogonan. My pronunciation probably is killing. You're gonna see up there now. Chateau du Pape. Good weapon. Yeah, but tell us as I pour in the wine, how you start in this world, how you become a chef, and why you want to become a chef.
That's a good question. Actually, it's not like I always my dream was not always to become a chef. It's not like I knew that since I was a kid or something. To be honest, my first profession was totally different. I graduated in law in Brazil, where I come from, and I invested some time on that. And after a time, I realized that I was not happy doing that. That's not what I actually wanted to do. And by the moments that I was having, how can I say, I was feeling stressful or something like that during that job, I would have dinner with friends, or I would have dinner with family, and I always would volunteer to cook. So the way that I was relieving the stress was by cooking. And then it was my mother actually that one day said, like, I noticed that whenever you're not feeling happy, what you do is you like to cook for everybody. So if that's what's making you happy, and you want to do something else, like, why don't give it a try? Why don't go to a college? Let's see. Oh, I think you're gonna be very happy today.
Yes, the smell is very good.
Yeah, it's not doesn't smell like acidic at all, Like,
yes, it's nice, and it's not sweet, but like there's that chocolatey.
Yes.
A chocolate note.
I would have to taste just to know for sure, but maybe berries or.
Yeah, it's a nice wine.
Nice.
Good pick.
Thank you. And it was it. So she was like, try it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything.
So your start is pretty similar. What? Oh man, this smell is amazing. I'd say it's a good wine. Chateau de Pape. I think it's difficult to go wrong.
Yeah, of course not. We can see it's very clear. There's nothing in the surface.
It's just in the right age, not much alcoholic. Oh yeah, I want to try that.
And cheers. And the speed that the drop falls as well. You can tell how alcoholic it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Nice. That's a good one. So it's similar. When I start was similar.
Sorry, just one.
Yeah.
I noticed that mine is a little bit fuller than yours.
Oh Jesus! It's like
that sounds a little bit unfair. I think
When here we go. When I was it's like you have siblings, yeah.
Yeah, I have one sister.
Yeah. It's like when you have siblings. Oh, you got more juice than I have.
Yeah, you need to use a measure like precisely to be sure that it is equal to.
Is equal, yes. Like you going back there and when you did law, I didn't went as far as you did. I quit. I dropped out in the last year.
Yeah.
And then I know the fulfillment of trying to feel that. How was that experience for you? Like when you look and said, yes, that's what I want. What brought to cooking was joy. For me was the moment I realized what's happiness. Cooking for me and being around friends and food was happiness.
Yeah, it was exactly the same for me because in the time I wasn't even realizing I wasn't even noticing. I wasn't even pay attention and knowing that by myself. You know, I needed later in my life one other person to come and open my eyes and make me see that. So what happened is every moment that I could cook or I could be the one bringing people together and being the one making the food, it was giving me pleasure. I was feeling relaxed. I was feeling very happy, and it was being so natural to me, you know, because it was not my profession, and I didn't do any courses before or anything like that. It was just like, okay, somebody wants some rice and meat and beans and whatever. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna cook, and it was going well. And
Was natural.
yeah, since a kid, since a child, I always liked to help my grandmother, mother of my mother, and I learned from her, and like it was the way I started enjoying cooking, because my mother, she tries, but she's not very, she doesn't have the gift for the culinary, you know. So my grandmother was great, and she passed away a few years ago.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Thank you. And watching her since I was a child, I was like always trying to help and kind of let me give me the chance to understand what it was cooking, and give me that pleasure, and like I enjoy that. And and since then, growing up, I was just like feeding this feeling of happiness by cooking, you know.
And Thomas Keller said he has a saying. He say probably saying wrong. I will try to I'll write it down properly, probably in the video. He says, "Food is nourishing people with love."
Mm-hmm.
That's how you nurture people, is with the love of cooking and make people to come together. In that moment, with your grandmother and the memories bring to you, what would be comfort food for you?
Personally, my comfort food is would be a simple food, like, because that's what she was cooking, you know, like pasta with some bolognese, very
It's like Sunday dinner.
yes,
A roast with pasta and tomato sauce and bolognese or something like that, yeah.
Or in this, it was like a tradition in the every Sunday we would have like during the week never had, but in the Sunday, doesn't matter what was the food. Could be some barbecue, could be some pasta, could be some lasagna, could be just rice and whatever, and fish. We always would have a potato mayo salad. It was like every Sunday.
Nice.
And so until today, like when I eat that, it feels like home, you know, like
That's comfort food.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, because comfort food is not like, doesn't need to be something fancy, doesn't need
Oh, no. Comfort food is exactly what say.
what brings you brings heat to your heart.
Yes.
So something that brings your memories or make you literally comfortable.
Yeah. Normally, what I would say is something hug you when you eat.
Yes.
Yes, bring you back where, like bring you back to the crib. Let's say like that. I think it's interesting. It's simple as a potato salad, but your heritage, you're Italian, your family.
I come from
All right.
yeah, Italian family.
All right, because we have in Brazil, like at least in São Paulo, we call mayo salad.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's basically potato. I don't recall the things go in it, but it's like basically it's mayonnaise with potato and a few other things. And like my wife, she's Polish, and when I went to Poland the first time, they had like a salad. It's basically potatoes, parsnip, parsnip, potato, celeriac, carrot, peas, gherkins, and there's I think one more green. So it's a balance of colors,
Yes, let's say that sounds very interesting.
and then just mix together. I'll tell you,
Amazing.
No, for me, like when somebody says about potato salad, is the next level. The flavor in it is just like is as you said, like hug you. It's so good, and then, like for me, comfort food for me start to evolve in a sense. Like went from when I'm homesick, I will go for lasagna or pasta, something like that.
Yes.
When but depend the time and the memory I want to bring back.
Yes. Yes.
And it makes sense to you. So when I want to
Definitely.
get like something about Poland in the Christmas, I would like get that salad and some whatever, like some cut off meat. Normally it would be golonko. Have you ever tried golonko?
No.
It's literally
To be
the
honest, no.
shin of the pork.
Okay.
Cook the shit of it, and then it's so tasty, so good. Nevertheless, so after that you went to college of like culinary arts or something like that. After
Yeah,
you went to
so-
from law to move to gastronomy.
Yeah, I started college actually in
Yeah.
culinary.
Yes.
I moved from the city I was living to another city just to go to college and study. And once I started there, like 1 or 2 months after I started in college, I already because it was hard to find a nice job in kitchens in the city that I was living because it's a little bit different from Europe. Like how can I put this? Like I think that here there is a higher level in the way that restaurants work. Even the simple restaurants, they are meant to be more organized and
You feel like it's more evolved.
yes, in a sense of way, yes.
Yeah.
And there some kitchens were more like snacks, like just burgers, other things. And I wanted to start learning some. I'm not gonna say fine dining because I think that's another.
Pretensions.
Yeah, that's another story. Like not everything's fine dining, but or casual fine dining. But at least like have a fish, have a puri, have something.
There's more variety in the menu than something just simple, hearty food.
Yeah. And nothing against simple food because I work with simple food as well. But when I was starting, I wanted to like trying to learn everything and see everything.
It's more the techniques
Yes.
involved.
And
And which part of Brazil you come from?
so I come from the very south of Brazil.
Yeah.
I was born in a city. It's called Porto Alegre.
Yeah.
Then I lived most of my life in the north of the state. It's called Passo Fundo. Nobody here is gonna never have heard about it. And anyway, and I lived another. I moved other city as well, and before I come to.
No, to get a little bit of the picture behind your history. Like so, South Brazil is big in their barbecue. So for us back home, barbecue is something big. But for who's from South Brazil, I like the barbecue is like if you
It's
have
like a lifestyle, you know. It's more than
Yes.
just food. It's like if you have a match, a game on TV, everybody's gonna get together, do some roast some barbecue, have some beers, and watch. If you're,
you forgot about the tea, yeah, the match.
yeah, erva mate.
Yeah, it's like the traditional there
Yes.
all the time. Or when it's hot, they is not in the thing how they call it when it's the cold version.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to translate in English, but in Portuguese, my tradition we drink escuia, chimarrão.
Yeah,
In Argentina and other South American countries, is drinking cold and it's called tereré.
yes, yeah, it's good. It's nice.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Really, even the summer.
Can be where I come from can be like 45 degrees. You are sitting in the beach, close to the sea, and you are drinking that very hot drink. You know, that's tradition.
Do you want to hear something funny? I had a friend in when I was in the secondary school. His father used to work for the high court in Brazil, and then in each state you're gonna have one person in the high court to represent the high court. and he was transferred from São Paulo to Acre. Acre is literally in the middle of Amazon rainforest, middle of
Yes.
nowhere. The only way to get there is plane or by river in a boat. Nevertheless, he got there. He spent year and a half. When he came back, and he was saying the place is like 42 degrees, summertime. They had like a ice cream shop and a soup shop.
Yes.
And he said everyone runs, is like flock to the soup shop to just have soup, hot soup in like 42 degrees. And he just something he explained. You need to be there to understand. It's so good to have soup in that weather. It's better than ice cream. Like until today, I can't connect the things. It's like monkey with circle and triangle and try to go through. You
Yes,
know,
yes, yes.
that's me. But no, that's great. So after that, you finish the college, culinary arts, and then what was the next for you?
No, I never actually finished.
Oh, you didn't?
Because I started, and so I was gonna say I started college.
Yes.
And like the first couple months that I was in the college, or even the first month of college, one of the professors,
Yeah.
he was the coordinator of the course,
Yeah.
and he liked the way I was working. And I was like, in my first month in the college, I had no idea that I knew what I was doing, you know.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, there is this restaurant that's gonna open in a couple months, and they are still finished building, but they are already training the people and this kind of things, and they are looking for. It's not like not gonna have a full contract, like a chef de partie or similar how it would be called here. It would be what's called like a trainee. So you have a small payment. It's not for free, but you have the chance to work and learn. So I went there and I stayed there for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And I learned it. I met the head chef, the sous chef there, and after this like 3 months, the one that was the sous chef there left, was hired to be the head chef someplace else, and she said, "Oh, I like it. Working with you, the way that you work, the way that you have so much determination and hard work and this and that. So I would like you to come and work with me." Half glass of wine and I'm not speaking English well already.
Finish the glass. You start to speak better than I do.
Than before.
Yeah, better than before. Yes.
So I went to work for her, and I stayed there for like 9 months or something like that. And I got the offer of somebody that I met to go work in one of the best restaurants in the city that I was living.
Oh, nice.
So that was it was like a barbecue restaurant. But they didn't have only like here with the grill and everything. If he not gas, it was in charcoal, not charcoal, the proper wood.
Wood fire.
Yeah, wood fire.
Oh, nice.
So it was like properly made.
But it was like the typical South Brazil. Like in São Paulo, we have that image in our heads for South Brazil is like we call fogo de chão or fire, ground fire, or like fire from the ground, literally, or something like that.
No, yeah, it more in the, if anybody that is watching and listening knows, more kind of Uruguay Uruguayan style.
Yeah.
So you'd have the wood burning in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you have like a grill
over the fire.
Yeah, over the fire, and then you cannot adjust the temperature of the fire. You need to move the meat lower and down and back and forward. And
just move. You move the grill, the fire will stay in the same place.
Exactly.
And then what kind of wood? That stage you knew what kind of wood you using, or was just like a...
I think it was kind of orange or something like that. I don't remember very well now. To be honest, but it would give a nice smell and flavor.
I like temperatures of steaks. Like that for me, when I came to Ireland, I went to work for an Irish American company.
Okay.
Like I knew how to cook steaks in 4 temperatures. That's what I learned in Brazil. You know, like it would be your French classics. You know, like medium rare, medium, medium well, or well done. That's it. And when I came here, they said we have 7 temperatures from blue to very well done. And then I went to work in that place because I knew I would cook a lot of steaks. In a busy day, I would do about like 600 steaks. And I say that was my master degree in temperatures of steak.
Sure.
And then that's when I like visually I start to learn temperature or whatever, doesn't matter. Like I could do the things. For me, it was my master degree. Like, how was the temperatures for you working that barbecue restaurant?
Actually, we don't, of course, because it's a different language. We don't call it like a rare, medium rare, these kind of things. They just
Yeah.
basically
You go the French for temperatures.
yeah, or even less. It was like a less cooked, medium, more cooked. It was something
All right.
more like that. It would here you have a better chance to get close to what the customer wants, because if you say that it's like blue or rare or medium rare, you go like a half step each. There you will be jumping steps, so you need to
I agree.
guess what they want.
I remember when I was in college, I had a teacher, and he used to take me like a trainee or like a internship through the college to do consultancies in few places and support the chefs. And I remember one of the restaurants, they want to understand temperatures the way we do here.
Okay.
Like rare was the difference, because they couldn't understand. They see in the same way 4 temperatures, like above, below. So they want to adapt in their menu to put the temperature, exactly temperature is 53 degrees, 63 or 68, 72, and describe what was that. That was in the beginning 2000s. So that was way ahead in the game comparing
definitely.
now. And like now when you go to Brazil, like I still feel we are behind in the sense of like temperatures, because if you go there and you say I want a blue, they don't know what blue is. You need to say really undercook. Yeah, literally, just as we say in Portuguese, like boi berrando, or like the cow screaming, you know, like just seal the cow and give, you know, like still you can hear the
Like
move.
she's still alive, yeah.
Yes. So you were in that barbecue place, and what was next after that?
Yeah, so until I went to work there, I was going to college and working in the previous place, the previous restaurant. So I could like study in the morning and work during the day. When I started working in this place, it was busier and it was more demanding, and I kind of was learning more there and spending more time there.
Yeah.
And I was getting paid better there than before, so I couldn't do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Go to college and work there.
You had to decide.
So I had to decide it, because when I started my class, in the college was they were in the morning, and in this restaurant, sorry by the way, actually it was 3 days in the night, and then some class in the morning.
Yes.
And this restaurant I work only in the night, so I couldn't be in the same time in the night going to college and work. I had to choose, and I chose stay in the restaurant because I was learning more there, and I felt that I could grow faster practicing there rather than having like a theoretical
classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So you choose in that moment, like I would stay working because I'm learning quicker.
Yeah, so I did. It was a 2 years course, and then after that you could do other specializing other things. And anyway, I did half of the time, like 1 year, and then I stopped it, and I started only working. And after some time, I could get my documents, papers, things together to go to Italy and have my Italian passport.
So in the same time you're doing that, you start to think, okay, I want to come to Europe.
Yeah,
and you got your documents to get your passport.
Since I was 16 years old, let's say, my dream always was to move and live in Europe.
Oh, lovely.
But it never happened before because I didn't have the information of where the documents were, and I didn't have, to be honest, the money to pay for all the process, because it's something very demanding, isn't it? Yeah. And then this time happened. I came to Europe. I went to Italy first.
Which part of Italy?
I stay close to Milano.
Milano. Parla italiano?
Io ho imparato un po', sì.
Oh.
Yeah, I studied a little bit of Italian.
That's very good, yeah.
And after a few months there, I had my documents, came straight to Ireland.
Did you manage to work in Italy?
No, it's not possible. It's not. I mean, legally speaking, you cannot do a formal job because you go to the country as an tourist. Then you start the process for your validation of your citizenship.
Yeah.
So until you get your passport, you are still
You're a tourist.
yeah, you're not a Italian citizen or European citizen.
Yeah.
So you need to get your documents first. So I couldn't legally work.
Yeah.
When I got my document, then I could start working there. But the thing is, when I was there, the payment per hour was like half of what was in Dublin, Ireland. So I was like, no.
Why Ireland? Not UK. Back then, the UK is still part of European
Yeah, it
Union,
was.
and the payment is good. Or Norway or Sweden, they have a similar payment, like our pay. Not UK, but like the northern countries, they have similar wages. Why
Yeah.
Ireland?
I think I can say it was influenced from a person I met in Brazil, because remember I said I was working in a restaurant there as a trainee. This is my
Yeah.
first experience in the kitchen. I'm the manager of this place that I met. We became friends, and she lived in Ireland, in Dublin, for 6 years. Before.
Wow.
So she came to Ireland, she lived for 6 years, then she went back to Brazil. So every time that we would talk, she would tell me how it was Dublin in his time. And I was listening, and I was like, I wanna know, I wanna visit the city, I wanna see how it is, I wanna live there, because I start to. It kind of made me curious and fall in love for the city even before seeing
nice.
it, you know.
And then you knew like the wages, the
I did a research.
yeah.
We have Google, so you know.
Oh, you had Google when you
yeah.
came, yes. When I came, I didn't have Google, yeah.
No.
Google was very poor at that stage in beginning 2000s.
Yeah, I was lucky with,
Yeah.
about that, because I could research everything online,
Yeah.
get informations, and of course I wanted to improve my English. It's not great, but it's much better today than it was like 3 years before, three years ago.
Yeah.
So when I came in for the first time in the country, I knew how to speak English because I studied,
Yes.
but I had forgotten. I wasn't speaking for a long time.
Yeah,
so,
you don't use, you lose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And then how's your Italian now? You're losing Italian, or?
it was the 6 months that I lived in Italy. It was much better than it is now, because for the last 3 years I didn't speak to anybody, you know. So yeah.
And you're Portuguese.
No, that that's impossible to lose, because I talk to my family. So no. Oh, okay. I feel a nerve there. So
Yeah, I will not say anything. I had to update my CV, yeah.
yeah.
My CV now is saying my Portuguese intermediate.
Yeah, and your English native.
I wish.
No, my fiance is Brazilian, so we speak Portuguese.
Oh, that's great.
So I don't get rusty.
So you arrived in Ireland. That was 3 years ago. So it was 2019. No, 2018.
No,
18, 19, 20, 20.
So actually, it was 16 of April 2019.
19.
19. So yeah.
Wasn't the pandemic?
No, April of 19, I came in.
No, the pandemic started when?
It started in
2020.
It started in China in December of 19.
Yes.
Then here in Europe it was about January or February.
Yeah, February. Yes, I remember
And
vividly.
in March of 2020, like 1 week before St. Patrick's, they closed everything.
Yes.
So that was officially like a lockdown.
The lockdown. Yes.
Good luck, everybody.
So you arrived just when it was in the peak before the pandemic. How was your? You came here alone, yeah?
Literally, totally alone. Because
you didn't know anyone in the country.
When I came here, I didn't have a place to stay. I didn't have a job, anything.
You arrived in the airport without anything.
Like 2 days before, I wasn't sure when I could be here, because I was depending on the embassy, the government of Italy, finish the process, so I could have my Italian
Passport, everything, yeah.
My citizenship recognized it because I come
Yeah.
from when you come from an Italian family, if you follow all the family tree, you can apply and ask them to recognize that you are a citizen.
Yeah.
So I did that process, and
then you need to choose the nationality, but you can postpone for 50 years.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. No, but so I didn't know when I would come here because I was depending on them. So when I get the document, I bought the fly straight away.
Yeah, you got a flight and then it came straight here.
And like 2 or 3 days before I flying to Ireland, I talked to this friend that I made in Brazil that talked everything about Dublin. Then I said, by the this time next week I'm going there, or in the weekend I'm going there. Do you know? Because I was looking online for all those kind of things like Facebook pages, groups, daft.ie, these kind of things.
Yeah.
But I wasn't finding a place to stay because we all know how difficult that is. So I talked to this friend and said, I'm going to Dublin in 3 days. Can you help me? Do you know anybody? And then he put me in contact with a friend of his from the time that he lived here. And this friend of him let me stay in the guest room.
Oh, that's bad. It wasn't the sofa?
No, they had a small guest bedroom. So I stayed, said like, you can stay here for like, 4 or 5 days, 1 week until you find something.
Yeah.
So I think I was there for like 5 weeks. 5 days.
5 days.
And this time I was looking like crazy. So in these 5 days, I found one place that I could temporarily stay for 40 days because the person was traveling and
around traveling. So you got the place for 40 days, for a month, literally.
For a month. Yeah. And I was looking for a job. So in the first week here, I found a place to stay temporarily, and I found a job in the first week.
That's perfect.
So I was lucky. And during these 40 days, I kept looking. Then I could find another place where I stayed for 3 months, and there we go.
It was like that, just like small places, like small time, and not actually a physical place for you.
Yeah, in the beginning, it was like trying to find. You don't want to stay in the street. You don't want to live. You don't want to be homeless. So you try to find a place to stay. Once you have a roof over your head, you try to find something better. So you don't want to share your room. You want your privacy. You don't want to pay too much for the room. So you don't want to live too far from the center. So you try to find places better as possible.
Yeah.
So,
and then you find your first job, and where was what was your criteria to find a job? What were you looking? Just anything to make sure you had some income, or you kind of narrow down?
Pretty much that, yeah.
Yeah, like whatever. Let's just give the CVs, yeah.
No, I knew I wanted to work in the kitchen. I wanted to be a chef. So I focused on that. I didn't look on any other kind of jobs.
How many CVs you dropped before you got an answer back?
I remember I printed about 30.
Yeah.
Then the first day I walked in the streets, like every restaurant I passed by, I was
dropping off your CV.
Coming in asking, do you have a position? Do you have an open vacancy? Do you have a job? Many places would just say no, we don't have, because nowadays the industry is totally different. Now everybody's desperate, hungry.
I'll tell you something. At that stage in your career, like when you arrived, I was in the airport.
Oh yeah.
I was screaming for people. A couple of the people arrived there to work for me. Literally, they arrive in the country. Mm-hmm. Like yourself, like Brazilians with Italian passports, they come to the restaurant upstairs. And my saying for all these employees were, if you get someone, just arrive and they are looking for a job, call me. I remember 2 brothers, they arrived and they went there and then they said, there's 2 guys there, they're looking for a job, they just arrived. And then they literally arrived in the country and said, do you have a European passport? Yeah, I do. Okay. Are you looking for a job? Yeah, of course, you just arrived in the country. I said, okay, you start tomorrow. Yeah, come over tomorrow and we start. Like that. We don't know where we live. I said, doesn't matter. you have
You
way
have a
to-
job, so
You have a job. Come over. You do your I didn't say get a job, but like you have your trial.
Okay.
So,
enough.
but like the guys, they're amazing. They're very good, and both of them, bang, got the job. So next time, stop in the airport and ask for a
Okay.
job.
So that's a,
Yeah.
a
So
suggestion for everybody. Like when you go to a new country, don't leave the airport without a job. You know.
yeah, it's more or less like that. Yes.
Very good. Yeah.
So and then you start to just drop CVs. How hard was to actually get the answer? You got in the first couple of days, or got a little bit longer? How was the anxiety?
Yeah. The funny thing is, today would be much easier. Like because
Oh, yeah.
everybody's like, you know. But in that time, they were not looking so much, at least where I was going, maybe. So I was knocking doors, asking if there are positions. Most of them were offering for kitchen porters or commie chefs. I was like, okay, let me see the options, release my CV, these kind of things. And
were you aware about the wages in Ireland? How much they were paying or anything?
yes, when I researched about
Yes.
online, I was kind of this was one of my concerns, so I searched about it, and I knew that it was like in the time it was maybe the second or the third higher wage in Europe. It was like behind Switzerland, but they are not on European Union, and maybe one other, like Denmark or something.
Yeah, probably Norway,
Yeah, one of
somewhere
the
there.
northern-
Yeah,
yeah.
northern countries. They pay well
Most
as well.
probably,
Yeah.
yes. But so yeah,
And how much was the average in that stage in 2019?
the minimum wage, the minimum they were paying at the time, if I'm not mistaken, was 9.85.
985, yeah, and 985 or 975. I don't remember as well. Yeah,
Something
it was
like that.
around 9.
And the job I got was because when I did the interview, my English was not very good at the
Yeah.
time, and I got nervous because I really needed a job. So I got one interview in a place, went there, and then the kitchen manager that
Yeah.
went through the interview with me sent me to the place that I would actually work to do a trial. I did a 2 hours trial, and then the executive chef responsible for that kitchen said, okay, judging by what I've seen today, I can offer you €10 per hour to be a commie chef.
God.
And I was like, the KPs is making 9.85. I'm gonna be a commie chef for 10. But all right, I'm gonna start at this. At least I'm working next week because it was like immediately start, and then I see what I do. And I worked there for like 2 months, and then I showed potential, no? Because I came to talk to the manager.
Yeah, they saw you have the experience.
Yeah, and then they offered me a raise to €12.
Whoa.
It was like what you would pay for someone that was doing the job that I was doing. So they got me my job like.
That's what they were paying for CDP in that stage. Yes.
But to be honest, like when I started working there, in the first week, in the first month, let's say, they were like, "Oh, it's training. You're gonna always have somebody else here. You're gonna have like if you need 3 people to run the kitchen, they're gonna have 3 people plus you, so you learn this and that." And then 1 month later, the roster on the Monday was like me and one more guy. So I was running the whole line by myself.
So you took the joke, yeah? You saw the joke, yeah?
Yeah. So like, you don't have experience, so I cannot pay you, but you're gonna do the whole line alone because you can do that. So okay.
Yeah.
And that's how I started, like hard work.
Yeah. And then you stay in that job for how long? Until the pandemic hits?
No, because until today, I'm still in the same company.
Oh, so you grew with them?
Yeah, I agree with them.
So do they look after you throughout the years?
Well,
I know it wasn't easy in the middle of
more than
between 2019 and now, like in the middle wasn't. How can I say fair?
With the let me put before pandemic, during pandemic, after pandemic.
Yes.
So before pandemic, when all the business were making money or growing, I wasn't feeling. How can I say? I was loving the experience because I was learning, I was growing, I was feeling like I was recognized.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because they like, oh, you started as a commis chef, then now I give you €2, you are a demi chef of the party. And then 6 months later, I was doing so much that I got transferred to another place as a chef of the party.
Oh, nice.
So I felt like, okay, they are recognized, they are giving promotions, they are seeing that
They look after
I'm
you.
growing.
Yes.
They are teaching me and I'm giving back.
Yeah.
And then during the pandemic, you cannot really judge because many businesses closed and never reopen.
Yeah.
And many people stopped like eating out because, or even ordered takeaway. So they were making less money. And in try to not fire too many people, they start taking 10% out of the payment every week.
Yeah.
So,
So they struck a deal to make sure people still have their jobs and keep carry on.
Like in a sense, I wasn't happy that I was paying like the taxes for the revenue plus extra 10% for the company itself. You know, I wasn't happy with that. But at the same time, during the 2 years of pandemic, I was only laid off for 1 month. The other 23 months, they kept me in a job working.
Oh, that's fair.
It was good, you know. I cannot complain.
Yeah, you can't complain. I wasn't everyone doing this.
No, yeah.
But like, it's a way to learn as well. It was like, I don't know where went all those chefs or all those people. It's not just our business being affected now. Like we used to have 60,000 people work in the hospitality industry in 2019. Now we have around like 20 odd thousand people work in the industry.
Like
and
1/3 is like.
Yes, and like where are they? Like this stage now, I'm seeing people. I think it's become like ridiculous. What people are paying for people to work, and actually, let's put a footnote on that. At this stage, people want jobs; they don't want to work. And then I think now that's the challenge right now. I know I have a full conversation before regarding the new order. That's something we can even talk because I had a conversation in other day. But like basically the new order, you know. Okay. Like first of all, MCU reference here, the pandemic was the blimp. People disappear.
Yes.
But like now they didn't come back for us. They just actually disappear. And on top of that, people, I start to notice that before the pandemic, 2 years before the pandemic, I start to see a trend. And the trend was people want a more quality of life. They don't want to work too much. They are happy with their 40 hours. It's not like my time is like kind of written in the book. You need to do 50 to 60 hours a week. And I still see people doing this. Yesterday I was just having a chat with one gentleman there where I work. And the guy said, when I can contact you? Any day, anytime. I said, no. Which days you work?
Every day.
Any day, anytime. I said, no. Which days you normally take day offs? Because we work 7 days a week. Normally I get Saturday, Sunday. I said, okay, so you work Monday to Friday. No. Every day, anytime. I said, no. So I contact you when you're working. No. Every day. Every time. I said, I think he don't understand. There's a language barrier here. So long story short, I said, okay, Monday to Friday, I'll be calling you. What time you work? Anytime. I said, I will not call you 9 p.m. to ask you I need to pull a till reading. No, but you can call me. I said, no. So 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. That's when I will call you. Anytime, apart of that, I will not call you. Are you okay with that? His eyes was like if I had like two heads. But those days, the new generation come in the kitchen, they don't want to do that. They change their mentality. And that's, I think, is the new difficult for the kitchen. And they didn't invent robots quick enough to replace us. That's good because we have jobs for the next probably couple of decades. But the downturn is like we're gonna work alone because the new kids, they don't want to do that. How you're feeling that situation now? You're going to work like I know, Tiago. You're hungry. you're hungry, you want to learn, you want to see, you want to, it's like a sponge, just like it's like don't get offended, it's not that way, it's like a little child want to learn, you know, the little child is just like you give
everything.
they want everything, and that's something, it sparkles on you, you glow when you want to see the things like that. And you're going to the kitchens now, and then you getting there, and then you're looking around and you're teaching. Probably you start to ask yourself, I can teach more to the head chef than actually I can learn. How do you feel with that now? What's going on in your head? I know what happened to me, but I want to understand what you feel, how you feel.
Yes, it's funny because I think about that actually, you know, every now and then. Like as I just said, I started in the kitchen because I had experience in Brazil, but when I came here, I didn't have the English very well, very good, and I didn't have experience in Ireland, so I didn't have a CV with experience in Ireland, so I couldn't defend myself. I couldn't say, oh, I know what I'm doing.
And that's something. Just put a footprint there, footnote on that. I felt the same. Like if you come to Ireland and you want to work in Ireland, guys, it's not people do not believe, people lie.
Yes.
Bottom line, people lie in their CVs. I got people saying they work in few fine dining places in Brazil. I interviewed the guys, they didn't know I was Brazilian. Apparently I don't look like Brazilian or sound like Brazilian anymore. I feel offended just because I got a whiter. I didn't get my tan, beautiful tan. I'm losing. Anyway, and then I start to see, and then I start to ask, oh, did you work with him? Did you know him? Oh, yeah. And I said, okay, so you didn't work there. And then how? I did. I said, no, because the head chef there is that person for the past 10 years. And you're telling me somebody else, I just put a random name.
Yeah, you knew the place better than the guy that said they work there.
Yes. But here in Ireland, if they see if you work in US, Canada, Australia, or UK, they perceive in the best way, a better way to say, oh yeah, you actually can work. I sympathize with you when you came to work with a CDP experience and they put you as a coming chef because you didn't know. And I'll tell you something. I'm being cheeky, yeah? I got two guys who work for me. They used to work back in the day when Alex Atala in São Paulo had the 4th best restaurant in the world. Yes. They work there in that stage. They come to work for me, and I put them as an internship because I said, look, I don't know if you actually can work. And I remember the first day of one of the guys, I had just one Brazilian in the kitchen. He was bad-mouthing about me to the KP Brazilian. And say, oh, that's freaking Italian, blah, 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 blah. And saying everything in Portuguese. I was standing behind. And then the guy, the KP, was white in the face. And then he looked at me, look at him. His name was Tiago, yeah? The guy, lovely guy, I love him. He's great chef. He has tattoos all over their arms like you. But he has tattoos even in his knuckles. He looked like he just left a prison. But Just Bieber, he started playing the radio. Radio used to be above his station. He just turned the volume up for Just Bieber. Yeah. That's so weird. Yeah. Weird. Anyway, he in that stage, I got people, and just like because I didn't know if he actually worked for there. So I put the guy to prove himself, and he proved. The other guy as well, Roberto, amazing chef. The same way, came to work, I put them to work hard, and after a couple of months was like, okay, you prove yourself. So it's difficult in that start, yeah?
Yes, definitely. Because when we start, like, you can put anything in the CV, but you cannot prove that or not unless you start working and showing. And I forgot what I was going to say.
No, it's about the way you went to the to prove yourself and grow and learning.
Oh yes, because like I started as a commis chef because I don't know if everybody who is listening knows, like in a KP, in a industry here in the kitchen, in Europe, in Ireland in general, we use like a French model of cuisine.
Oh, everywhere in the world.
Yeah, most of the world. Yeah.
No, like even in Brazil, when I went to college, the structure was the same. Commis chef, demi-chef party. Those days.
Oh, you went to a better college than mine then.
No, but
in mine it was like chef was the like what's called the head chef here would be
Yeah.
the chef there. That's the position.
Yeah.
And everybody else is cook, is assistant. It's just,
Yes, like, but when I went to college, had a structure, and the past few years I start to notice that with Brazilians when they come over and they said, "I'm a chef." In my head, I start to notice because I heard a podcast in Portuguese a couple of weeks ago, and the guy used to work for me, by the way, in the airport, and the guy, "Oh, I'm a chef, I'm a chef," but like the perception when I start to see the comments popping up there in the Instagram, perception they got from him was he was the head chef,
okay.
and he went to work for me in the airport, and he said I was the chef there, and people, "Oh, you run there," and I look and said, "What the hell is that?"
What's we talking about?
They're talking about my job, and then I look and said he was a prep chef for me. But nevertheless, the guy's great. Don't think about that. And I got confused, and I start to ask friends of mine in the industry in Brazil, and they said, "Oh no, here we call, as you said, we call chef." The thing's lost in translation in Brazil.
Yeah, but it's,
So because we don't use chef in Brazil, chef we use now as a
as a person in
position.
charge, like the
Yes.
responsible,
Yeah,
like you. At least in
would
south
be
of
the head
Brazil-
chef.
Yeah, in
Would
south
be the
of
head
Brazil,
chef.
the places I worked was like chef. It was only one in the kitchen. It was equivalent to the head chef here. It's the one who is the boss.
Or American English would be the chef de cuisine.
Chef de cuisine or head chef. Yeah.
Yes. So they use that model. Like confuse me as sometimes when I read a CV from somebody who works in America, North America, and they come over to Ireland and they put chef de cuisine. I always ask, did you run the kitchen?
Because you would assume that.
Yeah, because I got a couple of a year ago, I got a job offer, and they said, "Look, that's for you to be the chef de cuisine." I said, "What do you mean, chef de cuisine? You're gonna run all the place?" So, like executive chef? Yeah. I said, "Oh, okay, thank you." So, like sometimes the terminology can get difficult. So, for you, when you came here, did you feel the difference on that?
Yeah, a little bit. Like
You think it's better?
I came here thinking like I was just learning. I was just a trainee. I was just assistant. I was just a cook because there I was never called chef. You know, chef was just the one running the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then here, from day one, everybody's like, "Hi, chef. How are you, chef?" I'm like, "I'm not." I remember that for the first 6 months, everybody that talked to me was like, "I'm not chef. I'm not chef." Because no, you're a chef. No, I'm not chef. You're like, I'm learning. Yeah, but
You're wearing whites.
But anyway, that's part of the when you need to adapt to a new culture, a new country, when you're
Yeah.
moving.
Do you think it's better the structure here than in Brazil?
Well, I cannot talk about like Dom, Atala. I cannot talk about.
Yeah,
São
those
Paulo,
ones are.
because those like they are above my experience. They are above my knowledge.
You think so?
I never. Yeah, because I never properly. Good wine, by the way.
Yeah.
I never properly worked in the fine dining, so I cannot talk about that. But being humble here, I lost for 1 second.
Oh no, don't worry. The wine, keep drinking the wine. It's getting better. What I'm saying is now, you said about fine dining. Do you know what would be the difference between fast food? Oh no, what fast food and fine dining has in common? Can you compare them, or you think it's kind of frowned upon to say they are similar?
I wouldn't say that they are similar in the sense like, well, they are similar because they are both food. They are both trying to make your customer happy. You're giving a good experience, but to me, fast food sounds more like much more commercial, much more like I need to make a profit of this. I'm gonna make a large scale. I'm not gonna worry so much about the quality. I need it to be fast. I need it to go like send it, give it. That's it, done. And in my mind, the fine dining would be more like gonna have 30 people there working almost for free. One guy that knows what he's doing, being the boss and actually getting the money. And then
Not really. Okay,
No?
keep going, keep going. Yeah.
and then you're gonna have like 3 people working for 10 minutes in one plate, and you're gonna pay 3 times more for the same things that you would have in another place, but they are cooked more freshly and they are presented in a better way. So you have a better plate, you have a better way of presenting, and then you're gonna pay more for that experience. But I wouldn't say that I cannot say that fine dining and fast food is the same thing. Like they have something.
They're
Some-
far
some-
away
yeah.
in the scale. I will tell you something. They're way much closer than you think. First of all, just to get the part you said about like the products as well, everything. For us Brazilian foreigners or gringos from Europe and US, what's the perception you have about them? Like they would be rich people.
In general, yeah.
Yes. Why?
Fine dining is something
No.
expensive.
Yeah, but like I'm saying about the gringos
Oh, gringos, okay.
in Brazil, why you have the perception they're rich?
Knowing now today, it's because the currency is so the value of the currency there is so low that anybody working here
Can go there.
can go there and be rich there. You know, like be like give the appearance of being rich.
Yes. What I say is, always in Brazil, if you see somebody come from US or Europe, doesn't matter any time, they will sounds rich for us in Brazil. Why? One, if you living here now, if you go to your state in Brazil, in your city, not your city, but the capital, and you stay for a week in a hotel,
Okay.
plus the tickets to go to Brazil, return for a week, just hotel and tickets, how much do you think you would spend right now?
I can do better. I can say that last year I had holidays.
Yes.
I took 1 month holidays. I went back to Brazil because since I left there, I was like for 3 years I never went back.
Yeah, yes.
And then I went back last year. And I did many things that I didn't do before when I was living there. You know, because when I was living there, I didn't have the chance. I didn't have the conditions, the wealthy money to do
The
that.
financial background
Yes.
to back you up
And
to
then-
do what you want. Yes.
And then 1 month there, with tickets like for shows, for parks, for these kind of things, and visiting many cities and flying from south to São Paulo.
And vice versa. Yeah.
So I was buying like flight tickets inside the country and flight tickets to go there, come back here, and hotels there for the whole time, and going to anyway enjoying, going to good restaurants, having
Yeah.
dinner out every night, these kind of things. I was spending like in 1 month, I don't know, 3,000 reais. In the time it was by the
Now is about 500 euros.
yeah 5,000 euros.
No, 500 for 3,000 reais.
30,000.
30,000.
30,000.
Oh my
euros,
God,
yes.
man! I would say, man, I
No,
want to
no.
know where you went to Brazil because I want to go now.
No, sorry, 30,000 reais.
30,000, so
like
5,000 years
euros.
for
So-
one person.
No, actually, me and my fiance.
Yeah.
So, one,
Nevertheless, like
but it's still like
I went to Disney for 15 days. Car rental, food, parks, hotels, all the parks, everything. And spending money like if there is no tomorrow. And tickets included. Me, family of 4, yeah? Me, my wife, my kids. We spend just shy of 6,000 euros.
yeah, that's money.
Yes. So if you put in a scale, Brazil is very expensive. Very, very expensive. Just go to Brazil, just to say hello to Brazil. Go and return is 1,000 euros.
Yes.
So it's very expensive. That's the perception we have about the foreigners. What's the point of all that we are talking about? Fine dining. and fast food,
Okay.
they're very similar. Why? Both is consistent. Any fine dine Michelin star chef, they need to be
Yes.
consistent. Every single time you're there, you serve the same dish. We know we are chefs. Today we don't have a good day. Next week you have a beautiful day all week, and you have 2-3 days not good. Doesn't matter. Michelin guy will come in, he will eat in the bad day.
Yeah.
It's the same way you want to eat a piece of steak you're not supposed to eat because it's in the menu just for guests. And you look and say, you know what, nobody got that, I'm gonna eat. Who walk in the kitchen?
The head chef.
Yes. So it's the Murphy's Law. So it's the same. So consistency, consistency, consistency. Quality. That's the part you're going to get a shock now, yeah? The fine dine, they get the best product you can buy. Organic, little farm in the middle of nowhere doing the best what he can do or she can do. So like you're going to buy the best strawberries in all Ireland is a micro grower.
Yeah.
Or somebody raising their cattle, whatever. And the fast food, they'll get in mass that, but need to be consistent. If you go to McDonald's here in India, Japan, anywhere, you eat a Big Mac, it's exactly the same. That's a consistency. The difference is what kills the fast food comparing with the fine dine is creativity. That's something nobody pays. And like I remember when it started to grow and they said, oh, in 2020s, they will pay for your creativity. And I will tell you something, I consider myself creative. And I don't know if people are paying for my creativity because it's something not tangible.
Yes.
So when you go for fine dine, you need to get somebody creative, consistent, and good. Technique. That's what I say. Between fine dine and a casual dine, the difference is technique. So you get someone to work in fine dine. You said, oh, when I used to work there in Gordon Ramsay, we had like 20 odd chefs. I know 6 of us were paid. The rest I know was interns. But the moment you go as an intern there, you're getting something money can't give you.
Yeah, the knowledge, the experience, everything you can learn and watch and observe from there.
Remember what we said, a conversation we had out a few days back, and it was about when we get people to come to work for us, we are paying them to learn. And they need to understand that. Every single person I put inside the kitchen, I tell them, I'm paying you to learn. So you should be paying me to be here, not me paying you to be here.
Because you want brains, not just arms.
Yeah. Yes. So cooking is not enough anymore. So the moment I put somebody inside of my kitchens, I ask them, you should be paying me, not me paying you. Because at the end of the day, you getting, is like a mileage. In a car, that's not good. For a profession, that's good. That means I give you knowledge. In 2 years' time, I will need to pay you double because you got knowledge. So I'm paying you to get knowledge. And it makes sense to you that.
Well, you still need someone to do the job because you cannot do
you need to pay, of course. But like the point to get like juniors, like coming chefs, CDPs, them like coming chefs, them chef party and CDPs, they are getting knowledge. You're giving all the knowledge you have for them and paying them.
I know what you mean. Like people should recognize that, should understand that they are not just doing that for the money. They are doing that for something else. They are learning from that.
They're getting something not tangible.
Yes.
And every job, every place I run, I try to give something not tangible. That means money can't buy.
So if I'm working for you and I'm learning from you, I want to learn everything I can because I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna learn more, get more better position. It's gonna be good for me. And if you teach,
in exchange, I need to teach you.
And if you teach and you get someone that's learning and is going better, it's better for you because the better the job and the more the job the person does, is less for you to worry about.
Correct.
So it's good for both.
It's both ways, correct.
But once you have, as long as you have someone that understands that and is hungry and is willing for that, and what I see in the kitchens, and answering one question that you did, like you asked me like 1 hour ago, I remember that you asked me like how I see the kitchens today, if the people that post pandemic.
Yes.
When I started, like in Europe 3 years ago, everybody was hungry. Was like working hard, want to do that, want to be in the kitchen because loved the job, because wanted to do this, because that's all they knew. Even myself, like I started, and I remember talking about the long hours.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry. In August 19, I remember.
Yeah.
It was the most hours I did in the kitchen. It was like 20 days,
Whoa.
no day off, working from 7 in the morning until 11 in the night. I did that. And by the end of the time, they was like, okay, taking out 3-4 days off because you were burned out, you were wrecked, you were just. And I was doing that because they needed somebody to do that, because they didn't have staff, and because I love it and I just want to be in the kitchen and I need the money as well, of course. So people were more willing to do long hours, or willing to learn, or willing to work hard. And now, after pandemic, as you said, like you had 60,000 people before, you have 20,000 now. Because during pandemic, restaurants closed, so who didn't want to get layoff, who didn't want to get money from government, need to go to someplace else, need to find a new job. And many of those people didn't come back for the old jobs.
Yeah.
So now we have a gap, we have many open positions. So whoever you can find, you hire, because you need to put someone.
You in the hands, but like now
Yeah.
you need to get like, that's something example I gave to one of the head chefs who work for me. I came to him and said, at the moment you put in 2 coming chefs at 13 euros an hour to work there for 26 euro to get the same job one person would do. I said, look, I'll be more than happy to pay 18 euros an hour, somebody highly qualified to do the same job. That at the moment, for the same position, in theory, we should pay 14. I don't mind to pay 4 euros more if these 2 other people is gone. But you get a better quality, you get a better consistency, and somebody will be happy to be there. What happened in the pandemic is, you need to remember 2018, I'm an older millennial, you're a young millennial, and you didn't born after 95, yeah?
95? What do you mean?
When you were born?
I was born in 88.
Okay, so
far away.
yeah. So,
So,
95 to 2010 is generation Z,
No.
Gen Z.
Right.
So the Gen Z start to come to the market in the pandemic, and they were grown in a sense like the millennials already have that mentality of what's my purpose? Like they come to work and they want to make impact.
Yeah.
Think somebody worse than that. That's the Z. Yeah, Gen Z. So those guys came now in the trade and they said, whoa, hold on a minute. Do you want to pay me just 50 cents more than minimum wage to work my ass off inside a kitchen hot? Now in the summertime here now, like it's hot as an oven.
Yes.
Let's not curse much. And then being shouted at, being demanded, and then you have a time frame. If you don't do in 15 minutes or 6 minutes, 8 minutes, doesn't matter the time of whatever the course you need to cook,
Yes.
you do not deliver.
Yeah.
But if you need to go there and clean a table, doesn't matter if you get 5 minutes or 10 minutes and somebody will shout at you, you go there, roll your eyes. That's the part I say. If you go there and tell people, I'm paying you, in 2 years' time, I can guarantee you, you're more valuable than today. You're gonna grow in value in the long run. And that's the way I see it. Like people come to me and say, we don't get a well paid. Yes, I agree. Like yesterday, the head chef I was talking about, he said, I think that's the moment is too late already to say how much we should be look after the chefs for how much we do. And I said, I agree with you. But you need to remember, a guy just walked in the kitchen 6 months ago and now you want to pay 2 euros more than minimum wage. I think it's not fair because I work my ass off to get what I get today. And you will not get where I am today if you do not know and you do not have the knowledge. So that's the part I was saying earlier. They need to understand we are paying them to give something. Like you realize at the beginning of your career to say, I will go and work, than actually going to the college. Was a good choice? Yes, because you have a head beyond your above your shoulders, and you have that knowledge, you have that hunger, you're smart enough to Google and learn and go after what you need to know. Like other people, other chefs, they need to go through. I had to go through the college to understand. And I'll tell you something, for the first 10 years I was in the kitchen, I didn't apply anything from the college. If I didn't have that knowledge and work around, after 10 years I had to do it. But it doesn't matter, nevertheless. My point here is, I think we're overpaying people now. Not the people who actually has experience, but the people do not have the experience. And who's suffering is you. And the guys in your, now I would say in your generation, the new generation in the kitchen, in about 2 to 5 years time, we start to fill the gap, because you guys will start to get in a senior position and there is nobody to fill that gap where guys are.
I agree with you, because like in 3 years I went from, of course I was not really commis chef, I was more than that, but I was hired as commis chef. So in 3 years I went from commis chef, and now I have a job offer to be a sous chef in a place.
Yeah.
So it was 3 years of hard work and learning. Like it took me 3 years to do this, to walk this path. Some people take 2 years, some people take 10 years to be a sous chef, because it depends on each person, how determined they are, how they want that, how hard they work, and how capable they are. Anyway, but what I see is, like, if I become a sous chef now and I have to supervise other people, this generation that is coming now, the people that we are hiring now, they don't have the same will. They don't work so hard. They don't worry about, like, I need to worry about, because even before I was offered senior positions, when I was just a line chef, I was already worried about, like, is everything clean? How much food are we wasting? Are we making money? I was worrying about many things that should be just a head chef worry. So that's how you grow. You try to watch everything.
You already have the knowledge. You already have the vision to understand that. Like, what do you think the industry will be in few years' time? What the industry need to do to get those new guys to stay in the trade? Because, like, a good example I heard from one of the head chefs is construction here in Ireland is the same as the chefs. Mm-hmm. It's like brain dead. There is no people. And one of the places, he lost a chef to get it paid 19 euros an hour to sweep a floor. And the chef called and said, how are you getting on? It's great, chef. I spend the day sweeping the floor for 19 euros an hour. Like, in the long run, I look and said, you'll be here for 10 years, sweeping the floor, maximum you go 20 euros an hour, sweeping the floor. If that's good enough for you, fair play. But in the long run, in 20 years, not 20, 15, 10 years time, that guy will be older. His back will rack him, sweeping the floor. And he will not have his labor intensive. But like chef, in 10 years time, you can go from your minimum wage to get you 60,000, 70,000 a year. If you're smart enough, you can go even further, close to your 6 figures.
Yes.
And like, that's the part I look and said, and that's what I say to all the guys coming in the kitchen. When I see a very eager not coming chef, KP, is the people I value the most in the kitchen, in the sense of recognize them. I go to them and say, look, do you want to do the rest of your life that? No. Okay, so you start to work your ass off here and start to help in the kitchen. And then I make you a chef. And like, I'll tell you, 9 out of 10, I did that, they're chefs now.
And they are better chefs because they really wanted that and they work for that.
Oh, yes.
So they observe everything you give.
And they feel value.
Because they didn't have previous experience, they didn't have vicious. So what I mean is, when you have a keep, you are coming chef, and you give training, you can build in what you want, the professional
Yes.
and a good professional.
Yes.
But if you hire somebody comes to your door and say, "Oh, I'm a chef at the party and I wanna work here," they have so much baggage that sometimes it's not good. Sometimes they don't do things right, but in their mind, that's the way it should be done. So it's harder for you to first make them stop doing that and then doing the right thing. You know?
To build them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm long enough in a business, and I start to understand. Like at the beginning, I thought like you, like it's difficult. I prefer to mold and build someone around what I want. I don't see that anymore. I think I went beyond. Now all right. I'm not in fine dine anymore. If I was in fine dine, yes, I agree 200% with you. It's better get someone from the bottom and build them with you. But when you get someone, those days, the way I see is if you get someone already with experience, I see you have your 10 years experience, somebody else have another 10. I have 20 years of experience here. I can learn something. And I always will learn with, doesn't matter who. If the guy cleaned the toilet, he would teach me something. Either or, he would teach me something. Sometimes it's not about cooking anymore. As I said before,
Yes.
cooking is not enough. I learned with one of the guys with me, like he didn't teach me anything about cooking, but he taught me how to manage somebody extremely difficult. The guy was extremely difficult. So always when I see, I try to see the bright side and see how I can learn with you.
You can learn human behavior from somebody that you didn't expect. Yeah.
In this stage, my career, I learned more about managing people and how to deal with people. I'm way better now to deal with people than before. I hate deal with people because that I'm a chef. I don't like to go and talk with customers or anything like. But now I can go and talk to customers and smile and wave, and that's it. Like I understand to go here to here without telling them and say you're a moron. You don't know what you put in your mouth, so get a fork out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes that's the way I feel. Sometimes I taste food and I look and say, man, that's dry as fucking non-scant. How you can? I don't say that. So I normally I'm very sarcastic. I would say in different ways. I learn how to deal with people better. And I have to say, when I used to do fine dining and run my kitchen, when I got my award as a head chef of the year, innovation of the year, I would say I was a dickhead. But now, I saw like the difference. Ricardo changed, evolve. And I think it's important to teach your guys to say, look, I was there as well. Let's come with me. I will teach you more. And that's the non-tangible thing. Doesn't matter what. I had people follow me for less money to learn more. Because they know out there, people, they don't care. They just see you and say, he's doing the job, live there. As you said, I was there in the beginning when you came into Ireland, and they left you running a kitchen Monday to Wednesday with somebody, between brackets, without experience to run a kitchen. Why? Because the head chef didn't want to be there. He wanted to get his days off and said, fork this and leave you there and use you. And I think that's way past. Yes. And then I saw that ahead in the curve in 2019 or 18 and start to show people, look, that's what I give you. That's what I give you. And people start to come. How you will deal now with your newbies come to work for you? Would you do something like that? Or what do you think you need to give to those new kids to stay with you and follow you?
First of all, personally,
yeah,
I need to learn how to be more patient because that's not easy, you know? Like, because I always have this, and many head chefs that I work for, and executive chefs that are close to me, they talk at Candid and they said, like, you are great, you do brilliant, you have a nice future, but you need to stop putting so much pressure on yourself because
that's passion.
Yeah, maybe. But what I always hear from people is like, you put so much pressure on yourself, you want always to be perfect, and you cannot be perfect every time. You cannot. It's not even possible. So even one day that you do great, and I come to you and say we did great, you're gonna tell me back like, oh no, could be better. Yeah, can always be better, but relax, chill out. And I just that's my problem. It's difficult for me to like stop, relax, and say no, it's okay, don't worry. I'm always going to be looking like, oh, this could be cleaner, this could be presented nicer, this could be better. So if I need to supervise other people, I'm always going to try to tell them like, oh, this way is not a better one. We can do better like this. Let me show you. Let me teach you. Pay attention, listen, and let's try to grow together and do this better. You know.
But that's your stage in your career. You need to pass through that. Patience will come with time, and that's the only advice I can give you now. Is like that. Now at the moment, you're in the right place, in the right time, in the right position you should be. You're not wrong. You should go and burst their balls on that and roast them, because that's where you are right now, and you need to pass through that. Patience will come with time when it comes to knowledge and come the experience. As I said before, with the chef I had there, he wasn't the best chef I ever had, but like I learned so much with him because he was the most difficult chef I ever had. Mm-hmm. And the moment I identify him, I want him out of my kitchen. I sent him out. He went to work to another chef I know. He fucked up big time. He called me crying, asking for his job after 2 months. And I said, I will not take you back until you call this chef and tell him I'm sorry. And the moment I talk to him, if he comes to me and say, yeah, I'm fine, I made peace with him, I will get you back. And that's what happened. I called him back. I said, Jimmy, what's the story? And he told me, like, I'm totally fine. Okay. Call him back and say, okay, you're back. So the guy came back and I told him I was straightforward. Every 2 or 3 months I know him the way he is, I will burst your bubble. He was a dick head. And the company used to send chefs to be trained with me. I don't want to train people. I was too busy. I don't like people. I don't want to train people and say, oh, look how beautiful we are. And that was the stage when I was transitioning from a head chef to executive chef. When you become an executive chef, you learn that. And I was learning that. I didn't know that stage. It's something part of your learning curve. And it's like kind of a barrier you need to pass through. So in that stage, the guy was way taller than me, bigger than me, like muscles. And everyone comes in the kitchen. You, as a chef, you see somebody who has a bigger frame. I'm not tall, I'm not big man, but I know how to behave. If I go in the kitchen and say ABC, people will say yes chef, no chef, I don't know chef. That's it. That's what I expect. Because they learn how to behave in the kitchen. It's not about your size or the way you look. Or doesn't matter.
You don't want the people answer back, questioning you like. Say no, I don't like this because of that. No, it's yes, no, sorry.
Yeah, like the moment you have that presence, you know what sorry my language, but when you know your shit, it doesn't matter. You walk in, people will know, and that's it. Doesn't matter who they are. And that stage, I remember a couple of people coming in and out for training. And I remember one day, one guy came to train as a head chef for another unit. And the guy was a dick with me. I was busy. I had a hospitality to do. It was Monday and Tuesdays. Monday or Tuesday, doesn't matter. It was a very busy day, beginning of the week. And bigger hospitality was me and a CDP helping me. And then I just came and said, look, Dennis, look after the guy. And the guy came, and Dennis was amazing. I had to say, he was in the kitchen. He had that presence, but he was just a junior. Okay. Few years back before that, I came to him and said, get me a cucumber in the fridge. He came back with a courgette. Yes. I know, color is the same, but yeah. So he had
a very common mistake.
Yeah, but he was very good. He's very good. I have to say, he learned a lot. So when he came to the kitchen, I just tell him beforehand and said, look, that person's coming. I don't want to talk to him. Just take that fucker out of my way and just look after him throughout the day. Just call me before you put the food out. Because I had to actually like every single day I had the exercise with him. Like, I want to taste your food, and I want an hour before to tell you if I approve the food you're gonna serve. And he was very good with that. And I remember that guy one day came in. The guy was a dick. He got into things, used my bench, and like, I'm very protective my area. So you don't touch my knives. As a French chef, he used to work with me. He used to say, touch my dick, but don't touch my knives. You know, like with the French accent. And then I'm very similar to him. So the guy came, took my shit. He started to use my bench, leaving dirt, and look at me. Just clean there, please. And walking away, and just putting my head down, cleaning, putting the things away. I said, okay, I will not, you know, this is the first week of that guy. I don't want to burst his bubble. I remember exactly the face of the fucking bastard. Dennis came. The guy I was next to him there, using the sink. And then he said, okay, now we need to prepare all the food, and the boss needs to taste before we send. And he looked at Dennis with, like, if he had like 2 or 3 heads. What do you mean, boss? And he called me. And he said, chef, can you taste my food? I said, yes. I went there, taste the food, everything. I said, okay, that's good. That you need a little bit more seasoning, blah, 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 you know, all the shebang. The face of the guy. Like, I love it. I love it to see his face. And afterwards, the guy trying to come after me to lick my fucking ears. To kind of, because he knew he did wrong. And I think that's the things start to change. And today I can see that in, like, that was 2016. People start to think in a different way, to see, I can't treat people the way he used to be in 2000s or 90s, to just like be literally a dickhead. And now is the new challenging for the sous chefs like you and head chefs, how to do that transition for the new crew. And that's the part I say I learned from you guys, to say, oh chef, the guys don't want that anymore. They want to work like 3 times a week or 4 times a week, whatever. And I'm taking. And that's the way I learn. And I think that's the next chapter.
Yeah, actually, especially after pandemic. Before it was already, but now, like, I talk about myself, and I see that in more people. Everybody's looking for quality life. About we don't tolerate anymore so many things that we used to do to accept it before. So there was a time in the kitchen that I was working, and some executive chef would come and put his face like this with me, like, and saying like, "What the fuck is you? What the fuck?" Today we go straight to HR. We don't accept so many things like before, like people throwing plates in the wall, in the sink, like I see before. And we need to be a little bit more human. We need to be a little bit more, I don't know if polite is the right word, but it's a stressful job. It's a stressful profession. We need to work with time, with quality, with many things that give pressure. But
high pressure. Yes. Yeah.
High pressure. But but we don't. We're not supposed to accept like being treated like. Sorry, the word. You can delete it later.
No. It's okay. We can curse here.
We can also. We're not supposed to accept be treated like shit. You know.
Yeah.
And there is the right way of teaching somebody, of running some kitchen, and there is the wrong way. And we do. It's not like you're not doing just for the money. You're doing for love. But we need to feel happy doing that. Because if you are not happy in the profession, you're gonna people just gonna keep doing what they are already doing. So change profession, going doing something else, and we don't want to lose everybody in the business because we don't want to close restaurants. So let's try to be a little bit more civilized, I think.
To close here, what you would do to attract more chefs to work for you?
Well, honestly, I don't think it's only about money. Like, you need to pay enough for people to have a good life. Because everybody have a rent to pay, want to have holidays, want to do something. but so you need to give it a minimum for quality of life. But beyond that, the environment of work, you need to give training, you need to give knowledge, you need to make the people feel like they want to appreciate it. Like two things: one, first, like you see what they are doing and you are evaluating them, and they need to understand that you appreciate what they're doing, and you don't think them just as numbers, just somebody doing the job. No, you are a person and you are giving something, and I can see that you are doing that. And second, you need to make they feel happy doing that, like do for love, not for money. Like myself, I've had some jobs that I was just doing for the money. I was not feeling happy anymore. Every day before I go to the job, I would breathe like 10 times and think I need to go, and then I go. And we don't need that. Like that's not the way it should be. So to attract people, like try to make them feel appreciated, give them knowledge, but of course we need to give some pressure because it's a business. We need to make the customer happy in the end of the day, and if you don't make money, we all lose our jobs. So we need to find a balance there.
You mean a really good idea for an episode. I need to find now a waiter or a manager about make the customer happy. You're saying that, like, I agree 100% what you're saying, but like now in that transition, do the customers really understand that transition we're passing through? The difficulty behind the kitchen, the heat is on, it's difficult to deal with people, and respecting the moment. Like, let's say somebody like a good example, years ago, probably I said that before, I passed through one of the restaurants, and I'm worse than a raccoon and a sniffer dog. I passed by and I smell something burned. I opened the soup tureen and I said, that's burned, don't serve. Went back to the kitchen, the guys came to me and said, I said, what kind of fucking soup you sent out? Of course, we are passionate about food. I know I am, I know you are, and sometimes the filter just drop. And I said, what the fuck is that? Oh, no, chef, sorry, that is a smoked tomato soup. I said, that is not fucking smoked.
Really
that's
smoked.
A fucking burnt. And then,
well done smoking.
yeah, like, depend the way the people get that. That's my passion speaking when I talk like that. And sometimes I can be very nasty the way I say, and depend how the people see the things. I understand the problem is not me, it's not you, it's something between us. In that case, it would be like a soup. And 99% of the time, people see that as offensive towards them because they spend time to do that. They spend hours doing that, and they put their life there. They put their passion there.
They just take it personally. Yeah.
Yes. So now, I like, my challenge was, as an older millennial, translate the things better to a younger millennial. Now your challenge is translate what you see as an older millennial, what you expect for you, to the new guys. And that is a challenge now. Yes. Cooking, as I said, cooking is not enough.
Yes. And it's hard, like, because we bring this passion, like we do this for love. And some people nowadays, after Corona and other things, like they want a job, they're gonna pay, and they can go to parties and other things. You can see, like, when you have some experience in the kitchen, you can look at someone, you can see who has a future and who is there just like careless, just for being there.
Not just like a quick fix.
Yes. So other day, like I was called by my head chef. He said, "Oh, this person is asking to have a meeting with you because she, whatever, is not feeling comfortable the way things are going. So he or she wants to talk with you." Then I will sit there. My head chef was sitting here just listening, and this person was like, "Oh, I feel like you are putting pressure on me, that you are always not happy with the way I'm working. I want to understand if it's personal, what's going on." So I was like, "It's not personal. It's like I don't have a problem with you. It's
Just fuck up too much.
well, not like that. Maybe my mind, but it was like you just need to try to work faster, try to ask more. Like, what can I help? What can I do? Show more interest.
Be more proactive.
Yeah, more like that. You know,
Give
like
a fucking kick in the ass and say work.
So I was like, other day, literally, real example. In 1 hour I did like 7-8 preps. I was doing 5 things at the same time, and setting up for opening service,
as we do,
and making beepos of sauce and other things. And the person for 1 hour I was like watching, you know, slicing tomatoes for a caprese salad. 1 hour. So like when I say to you, you need to be faster, it's like you took 1 hour to slice tomatoes while I did this. So tomorrow when you come in, get a timer, put like 30 minutes on the timer, and try to slice the same quantity of tomato. And let's see if you can do in half of the time that you did yesterday. And the next day you do in 25, and you do in 20. So you're gonna push yourself to do faster, to do better. And once you do that, you can go to the next one. And that's that's why I was pushing you, not because I don't like you, but because we want better people working here. We want to make the place better. We want to make the food better. We want to make the customer happy.
Make you better.
So
you're coaching them.
Because so I asked this person, like, do you want to be in the kitchen? Is this your dream, or you are here for the money, or you are here for because that's the only job you got? And then the person said, no, I always wanted to work in the kitchen. That's my dream. So that's why I'm pushing you. If you want to work in this environment, in this profession, you need to grow. The better way of growing is pushing yourself, or like listening to me and other senior chefs. So the person was like, okay, I understand now. Now I try to be better. And from that day on, this person was doing a little bit better, you know.
A little bit. Oh my God! I hope that person is listening right now. So focus what you need to do. Push, push, push. The only person you need to beat is yourself.
Yeah.
It's not the other chef next to you. If you go and just focus on what you need to do, and push yourself harder, you're gonna go further. Majority of the people, they expect people like you said, I did 10 preps. I don't expect like people doing what you do. Sometimes you can be faster than I am, or like you could be way faster than I am. And then like it's not about being faster or better than other people. People don't understand that. It's about being better than you are to yourself. So that's the way you grow.
Better than yourself yesterday.
Oh man, I like that pissed me off. And like that what I try to see to the guys and say like push yourself. Don't try to be better than Tiago or Ricardo. Like you will be better than me. What I always think is there's somebody out there doing what I do better than I do for half of the money that I get. I always think like that. Always. No, it's possible. You know, like look at the world. There's 8 billion, almost 8 billion people in the world. Do you think somebody can't do what I do better than I do for half of the price than I get? Yes, there is. But I'm still waiting for that person. After almost 20 years in the business, I'm still waiting for that person to shake their hands. So, I think
that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah, but like, it was great. It was great to have you here.
Thank you.
It was a nice chat. I think probably we need to get another one. That wine was amazing. I have to say. What do you have to say about the wine?
I can just say that I could have another one right now, you know.
Whoa, yes. Make two was like lovely. Like I have to say, so far one of the best we got. Like I know, like when I start to see 2017 comparing with like the 2015 the Chateau de l'Epap.
Yes.
I had the 2015.
Really?
Yes. And it was very good.
Yeah.
It was very good. I think that's slightly
not
better.
so far away. Yeah?
Yes, it's very good. Like I like a good wine. Like good wine.
It's worth what you pay for it.
Oh yes.
Okay.
What you paid for? Doesn't matter. Chef, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
Guys,
having me.
thank you very much. The usual, like listen, follow, and share. Thank you very much. This was Foodcast.